Rashid Yachts Marina and why this launch from Ellington, the Portside Square launch, why it makes sense from an investment point of view. Before I get into the pricing and everything, let me just take you guys through something which we often overlook. I'm sure we've all used TXP Interact at some point in our investment journey to look at prices per square foot. There's a feature here that maybe you guys may have not explored, absorption rate. What does absorption rate mean? It simply means how many units were released by the developer, how many have been sold, absorbed by the market. So right now we're focusing on Rashid Yachts and Marina, and to my surprise, the projects here have an absorption rate of almost 100%, 98, 99, 100%. So that basically tells you that every single unit launched by Emaar was purchased and absorbed by the market in Mina Rashid. So first of all, that's one of the best ways to look at the demand in the community. Uh, so over here, for example, projects that almost all of the units have been sold out in these projects. So that's the first thing. Now, if you look at Ellington and why this particular combination of uh, Emaar X Ellington has always performed well. So let me just show you guys for a second. Ellington, yeah. So as you guys can see, Ellington as well has an absorption rate of almost 100%, more than 95% for almost, I would say, 80, 90% of their projects. Only I think one of them, uh, River Point and Business Bay, has an absorption rate of 64. Everything else has an absorption rate of almost 92, 95, 100%. So you've got two of Dubai's top developers, and just for context, Ellington is being headed by an ex-Emaar guy, by the ex-CEO of Emaar. So of course, there's a reason Ellington properties have done well historically. And we've got a living example of this with Ellington House in Dubai Hills, which handed over recently, and it's appreciated by almost 45% from launch till handover. And Ellington House is one of the most sought after properties in Dubai Hills. Similarly, it's the only Ellington property in an entirely Emaar community. So we've got a living proof. We've seen how Ellington appreciates in an Emaar community, and they've gone for the same approach with Rashid Yachts and Marina. So that's the biggest, I would say, investment use case personally. So let's dive deep into the project now. Of course, you've got around 400 units. You've got around 3 buildings. The commercial tower is already sold out. Only approximately 54 studios, 171 bedrooms, and 96 two-bedrooms. Prices around 3,000 dirhams per square foot, which I would say, yes, it is higher than Emaar's launches, but just wait for what I'm going to tell you guys shortly. And of course, you're getting one beds here for about 2.5 million and two beds for about 3.6 million. Now, this is where things get interesting. I've compared Maritime City with Rashid Yachts and Marina on price per square foot. So if you guys can see some of Emaar's projects like Seascape, Seagate, Sarah, the ones launched recently in Rashid Yachts and Marina were around 2,500 to 2,900 dirhams per square foot, right? Dubai Island is around 2,400 dirhams per square foot. And Maritime City is similarly around 3,000 dirhams per square foot, with Orize and Sensia and Thalia. It is more than Ellington's launch. Something very interesting, Danube's recent project in Maritime City, Danube, it's priced at 3,700 square foot, which is significantly higher than Ellington's price per square foot. No, that's not something we get to see regularly in Dubai's market. Danube coming in more expensive than Ellington. But that sort of tells you the value in Ellington's prices. Ellington is cheaper than the Max Chelsea residences in Maritime, which was at 3,200 dirhams per square foot roughly, and a couple of other launches in Maritime City at 3,400 and 3,100, as well as cheaper than, of course, Emaar Beachfront too. So initially, we all thought that prices are pretty expensive, but when you look at data, it's not. It's actually much more competitive. And of course, historically, as we've seen, Ellington properties demand higher rents and they appreciate more. It's a no-brainer for Ellington. Okay, so personally, if I were to pick between Maritime and Rashid Yachts Marina, of course, I would go with the RYM, because prices per square foot make much more sense. It's a much more developed community. You do not have the port on the other side. With Maritime, you've got a port as well, the industrial Maritime port. And in Maritime, I just feel, again, uh, the community vibe is sort of lacking in Maritime compared with RYM. Let's go to rentals, of course. Now, of course, this is not a rentals product. This is a capital appreciation product. Rentals, you're going to be getting around 4.9 to 5.7% only. Realistic, right? We've got 17 dirhams per square foot service charges. Uh, you know, you would need to achieve around 180,000 dirhams in rent annually to get 7%, which is, to be honest, not realistic. A much more realistic and conservative estimate would be 135 to 155,000 for rentals, which is about 4.9 to 5.7%. To be honest, most of the new launches, off-plan launches, are not rentals product. They're more of an appreciation play. So yeah, of course, if you're someone looking for rental income, then you can just go and buy an existing ready Ellington property, something in Ellington House and GLT in Mercer House or something. You're gonna get much better rental yields. Uh, but of course, historically again, you can even go with JVC, with Choba Heartland. Ellington has better projects which are giving much higher yields. Okay, of course, as I said earlier, this is a capital appreciation project, especially the one beds with sea views, with waterfront views. They're going to be the ones in highest demand, and they'll have a quicker liquidity cycle. They'll be absorbed faster by the market. And of course, finally, to end, uh, overall, I think it's a no-brainer because of the proven success of Emaar and Ellington collabs, what we've seen in Dubai Hills, and the absorption rate. That's what I really wanted to focus on. That we get to see all sorts of opinions on these communities, but when you look at Emaar's absorption rate in Rashid Yachts Marina, it's 100%. It's almost 100%. Same goes for Ellington. So when two of Dubai's biggest developers collab, you just know that it's going to be, it really is something. Of course, the only negatives I see is it's not really something like Dubai Marina or Emaar Beachfront. It's a low-rise marina community. Uh, of course, rental yields will be lower, but if you're focusing on rentals, you should not even be going with off-plan. You should just be buying something ready. And of course, the pros, Ellington, premium quality and finishes. The area is actually, let me show you guys the location. Forgot to go over the location. Yeah, so this is the location. Of course, you just 10 minutes to World Trade Center, to downtown DIFC. You've got all of Dubai's major landmarks around you. So location-wise, pretty solid location. And yeah, of course, RT is also investing a lot in the road network in the Al Chandava corridor project. So you can expect travel times to get much better. So yeah, overall, personally for me, a lot of the launches in Rashid Yachts and Marina did not make sense, but Ellington is something that brings scarcity. The only Ellington product in RYM, and it's performed well in Dubai Hills. It's going to do this equally well in RYM, and of course, it's much more cheaper than the new and some other projects in Maritime City. So yeah, I hope this was helpful for you, and you guys can just reach out to me on WhatsApp if you're interested. The launch is in about 2 weeks from today, so we can prepare your documents and EY's expression of interest if you're interested.